Welcome back to another installment of me making my homies play Danganronpa while the wheel decides their fate. You guys loved the last installment of this, I loved making the last installment of this, the sequel was inevitable, and yeah, we've gone way bigger for this one. You'll notice the pizza wheel has been lovingly revamped to be significantly more chaotic this time, and this time we're rolling with a cast of 51 different people, and oh yeah, it's a good one. So to quickly skim through the entire thing, I died last time, but my second channel didn't, so starting us off at number 1 is my second channel, Neremik 2, followed by you guys, the viewer, 3, the doorbell cat from that one meme, 4, Gromit from Wallace and Gromit, 5, the main character from Squid Game, 6, Sackboy from Little Big Planet, 7, Jesse from Breaking Bad, then, all from Sonic, we have Metal Sonic, Eggman, Jet, then, rightfully disposition at number 11, we have Fishe, followed by Light and L from Death Note, and then, I had to get my Dragon Ball slot in here, so we have Mecha Frieza, Goku, Black Whis, and Goku in that slot, followed by Sans and Papyrus from Undertale. Then by popular demand to start off our Danganronpa block, we have Korekiyo from V3, followed by Kibo, Yakuya from the second game from Danganronpa, and then Nagito and Celeste to round that out. Then, I was feeling a little bit inspired by some visual novels, so I've stuck in Leighton and Luke from Professor Leighton, followed by Sigma and Phi, both from the Zero Escape series. Then, by demand, I stuck some JoJo's characters in, so of course I had to stick in Dio, followed by Joseph, Joestar, and Giorno, and I had to make sure I had some Animal Crossing representation in here too, so we're running with Villager and Tom Nook for that, followed by that one cat that says he wishes he were a bird in that one anime clip. Then, I stuck some My Hero characters in too, because you know, I had to get my guys in, so 35 is Bakugo, followed by Kaminari, Tokoyami, and then my Hoyoverse block as usual. We've got Winnie, Farina, Kidditch and Wanderer, all from Genshin Impact, and then Sundai from Honkai Star Rail. Then my Persona guys, we've got Yosuke and Yukiko from Persona 4, followed by Akihiko and Ryoji from Persona 3, and then finally we have this final slice where if I couldn't fit a suggestion into any of the pre-existing slots, this is where they go. So number 47 is a Prinny from the Disgaea franchise, it's like a penguin thing. 48 is Marshadow from Pokemon. 49 is the Ghoulfather from Yokai Watch 3. 50 is W from Arknights, which is, I'm pretty sure, the game with the really good music and all their adverts. And number 51 is somebody called Skitter from a book called Worm, or a web series called Worm. Yeah, I'm representing them as a swarm of 10,000 bees alongside them, because all the photos of the characters I saw on Google Images made me get scared. Also, final thing before we start, I've done a little bit of research into characters I wasn't too familiar with, so I could make sure I still had all your guys' suggestions acting somewhat-ish in character, so don't worry, I've done the required reading. And now with all that said, after some slight tweaking to the fun wheel, I think we're ready to begin. We need to pick ourselves a cast first and foremost, and that starts off with a main character. There's 51 people in this, but one person is going to be more important than everybody else. And it is Kaminari. Okay, he's our lead. I guess that works. I would like to see him. Similar vibe to Soda being our first one last time. Then up next, his sidekick is Prinny. Okay, the little explodey penguin from Disgaea. I can see it though. Those two, I think, would work as a duo. They would learn to be better detectives as they went along, and their antagonist would be Doorbell Cat. Okay, I think that works. Doorbell Cat just wants to eat Prinny. Sure, bada bing, bada boom. So, in case you're new here, each round we spin the fun wheel and then the main wheel. But we're not going to spin the fun wheel for the first round, because this is going to be our nice introductory. I'm going to take it a little bit slow to explain what's going on. But yes, in each chapter there is going to be a victim. And in this particular case, it is Kibo from Danganronpa V3. He is dead. Now, in case you forget how Danganronpa works, when somebody dies, they are killed by somebody. We go to a little trial, we figure out who killed them, and then the person or peoples who killed them then get executed. So Kibo dead, Robot dead first. It's a bit sad. It's a bit sad. But who kills him? Sigma! VOR, really, we're getting rid of like one of the smallest slices by 50% first. By the way, prepare yourselves for excessive spoilers for every single property in this, can I just say. Okay, so Kibo killed by Sigma. We're gonna figure out Sigma killed him eventually during the trial. Sigma's gonna get killed. Why would he kill Kibo? But Sigma does actually work in robotics, so this is a decent matchup to be fair. So what instead I'm gonna say is that maybe Sigma tries to game the system, maybe he tries to break out immediately. He's having flashbacks to the two Neremik games he's played. He's like, right, I need to game the system, I need to break this immediately off the bat. How do I do that? Powering off a robot. So he just turns Kibo off, which, you know, still counts as a murder, but he just turns Kibo off and lets it progress, and he lets himself get killed. If you don't know, Sigma can shift across timelines. So Sigma's perfectly happy to go and die now, because there are ways he can come back, as is Kibo. This is basically a victimless crime to immediately put the game on shaky foundations, which I think is extremely a character for Sigma, and I think from the vibes I get, Kibo would probably agree too, because he can just get flicked back on in due course. So I'm going to say Sigma turns Kibo off and happily gets executed, knowing there's a ways both of them can come back. And the way they can do that is through this fun little wheel. There's a lot of different stuff on here. But for case 2, it's saying there are multiple culprits. Now I have a few windows open. I've got this picker from 1 to 45. Let's see, I spanned it before I got Formula 1. That helps with a specific one of these. But I've also got this number generator. It goes from 2 to 5. And what this spits out is the amount of... Oh. Just click generate, and if you didn't think you saw the number change, that's because it just spat out a 5. Okay, so multiple culprits. One person dies, 5 people killed them. So Sigma does his thing to destabilize the game. I imagine Monokuma ramps up his attempts to make the next murder a bit more solid. So who dies? Let's establish that first, and then motives and whatnot I think can come later. But Monokuma starts pushing them aggressively. And Doorbell Cat being the victim, I think, is something that can work depending on who gets spam. Because we can come up with like potential motives that he would have given for each chapter and stuff as we go along. But Doorbell Cat getting killed by L. Okay, he's the first. Again, I like having this big round to chew into people early on. But L? Farina? Okay. What are we cooking here? Fishe? No, White. L and White teaming up to kill someone. Okay, that's all of the Death Note characters gone. Fair enough. Then who else? Neremik too? Really, I'm the one getting got. Okay, I see how it is. Fine, I guess I'm also in on this. And then last but not least, Bakugo. Barely. If we got rid of our main because he killed the antagonist, that would be crazy. So why would those 5 people want to kill Doorbell Cat? Or how? Well, I think the how is quite simple. White has the Death Note. So, you gotta think, they're in a weird game, right? They need to try and figure out how they can kill the Mastermind. You gotta think, the Mastermind's gonna have reservations and stuff. Did they give Light a fake Death Note? They need to test if it works, and they've got no way to see what's going on the outside world. So they need to start coordinating, maybe what Sigma did, rather than Monokuma... Well, no, maybe Monokuma does try and put the pressure on them, force them into more murders, etc., etc. What I think happens is that everybody is actually motivated by that first murder to get the Mastermind and make sure they get them good. Because I think there are some people in here, there's some holdovers, people are aware of the last one, they know how it goes. So, they want to make sure if they can take out this Mastermind permanently, it should stop any future games. How do you do that? You kill them with the Death Note in a way where they ain't coming back. So White knows this, and I think at this point, we'll say that he reveals himself to L and gets him in on the plan. And I think if it was just a double murder, that'd be great. They just, unfortunately, kill the Doorbell Cat because they think it's, the lowest intelligence thing out of the lot to go and get rid of. So I think those two pairing in makes the most sense. Then I guess, you gotta think, if Elfboy has like a detective squad and usually has an escort, so I'm gonna say before the game, I was possibly L's escort, and that's why I'm here, I'm in on this plan. And see, the difficult thing now is explaining why Bakugo would also be considered an element in this plan. We actually need the full name to kill somebody on the Death Note. So the 3 of us are working with the Death Note, and we ask Bakugo, hey, we need you to get this cat's name so we can write it in the Death Note, kill it, bam, figure out if it works, which it turns out it does. So Bakugo's role in all this is then going ahead and getting this damn cat's name, passing it along to us, which makes it, well, that. And then Farina in all of this, I think Farina, again, with the whole justice thing that she has, because she's like the god of quartz and whatnot, I think Bakugo and Farina are one team that coordinates setting this up, making it so Doorbell Cat gets got, unfortunately, but Farina is like, this is in the name of justice, bam, 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 bam. No, we'll say Farina approves it, like, in the name of, like, her country, right? Bakugo goes and gets the name, and then the 3 of us are in on the plan with the Death Note, and then it comes to the trial, and you think it's just gonna be L, White, and me that get got, and then Monokuma's like, no, I'm annoyed about the last one, Bakugo and Farina, you go as well. anybody who had a slight element in this is getting got, because maybe he really likes Doorbell Cat. So it would have just been those 3, but he expands it to be 5 because Monokuma is pissed that the first 2 trials have not gone his way, nobody's healing to the spare, bada bing bada boom. So that does mean, though, we do need a new antagonist, so we'll spin for that, but I think those are 2 very good things. We got a little bit of a narrative going on. And the antagonist is Ghoulfather. Okay, now he was one of your guys' suggestions. His whole thing, I do have a little bit of a note thing off on the side. His whole thing, I have wrote, he has insane aura, possesses a UFO, was banished into space for 555 years, and has a collection of what I'm calling the boys. So, yeah, in terms of antagonists, he's got it going on. Makes sense he would be not the nicest force for our main duo to sort with. But, oh, okay, this round's gimmick is storage. So this is quite simple. I'm going to spin and explain it. So whoever this lands on is getting removed from the wheel and stuck in storage. And it is just barely Tugami. So Tugami, number 22, he's getting gone. He's out the game. We're going to say that he gets chloroformed and shoved in a cupboard somewhere, or maybe his disguise falls through and he goes into hiding. But for whatever reason, Tugami is out the game. For all intents and purposes, he cannot be a killer, he cannot be killed, nothing like that. He is in storage. He's nice and sleeping, and next time we roll storage, we'll bring him out of storage and put him back on the wheel. The issue is if we don't roll storage again for the remainder of the game, we're going to forget Tugami is in there, and he's going to eventually starve to death. So, we need to roll storage again to get him back out of there. Bit of a fun mechanic, I think. It makes, you know, we preserve somebody for a little bit later on, or it technically is another way to just eliminate somebody. So, with that said, tensions are a little high. Tugami's gone missing. You know, last case had more people die than previously. And Tom Nook is dead. Okay, I think this one is quite explanatory, depending on who it lands on. Please be Sans, please be Sans. Easy, easy. Sans, I'm just gonna say, is not a fan of landlords, as are most people, and he's like, no, I'm a skeleton. Okay, I've already died. And he just does the whole thing. He throws Tom Nook through the whole of Sans boss fight, and Tom Nook did not stand a chance. Monokuma wants these trials to have people filled with despair. No. Killing a landlord, complete inverse of that. And he just gets Tom Nook, and he's like, I'm a skeleton. You can't even kill me if you tried. I'll just reassemble as a pile of bones. Which I think works. So let's spin the pizza. Let's spin the pizza. Ooh, I thought it was going to be serial murder, but it's not. It's double culprits. So this one's simple. One person dies, 2 people are in on it. Who's it going to be? Who is it gonna be? It's gonna be Metal Sonic. Okay. Feasible, I think. Feasible. He's a villain. Makes sense some people want to take him out. But whom? But whom? Oh, Eggman. Eggman wants to take him out. Really, our Sonic representation dwindling quickly. Eggman taking care of his own creation with the help of who? Because it does kind of make a little bit of sense. With Goku Black. Okay, so if Goku Black asked me to help him, I would. So I'm going to say Metal Sonic goes rogue. I think that makes sense. Eggman then wants to shut him down, but like he can't, you know, he just can't. And then again, we said last time Sonic is like quite close to Goku by design. They admit it in books. And Eggman's like, okay, is the actual Goku gonna agree to help me kill a thing and then get executed? Probably not. Is the evil Goku going to help me do that? Yeah, he will. So Eggman goes to Goku Black and he's like, hey, this guy's out of control, and he's like Goku and evil, so he's not got any qualms about morality. This can cause a problem for the both of us. And, you know, the rest of our plans outside of here. Help me out. So then Goku Black fights Metal Sonic. Eggman feeds Goku Black a load of info about Metal Sonic to give him an edge. Metal Sonic eventually goes down, and then the two... Like, it's a massive fight, so, like, everybody knows who did it. You know, the trial's over in a few seconds. And yes, they take out Metal Sonic from going rogue. I think that works. I think that works. And, okay, that was oddly quick. I guess we're bringing Tugami back immediately. Welcome back, number 22. You were gone, like, what, approximately around 2 rounds? He's back in, though. He's back in. I guess he just got hungry and decided to wake up from, you know, his nap and come out for a snack, and he's back in the thick of it. So, sure. That last round, though, did lower spirits a little bit, but seeing him back at least boosted them. And Linny's dead. Okay, things are finally starting to go Monokuma's way. The magician being dead is not, that's not a mood booster. Linny was a good one. But who was responsible for killing him other than Dio? Okay. I think this... Okay, the murder method is quite simple. Dio has the world. Linny stood no chance, okay? He stood no chance. Well, okay, so, why would Dio want to kill Linny? Like, maybe he did just want to lower spirits, because he, you know, maybe he's just a ratty little bitch. Like, he's like, no, there'll be no fun today. Nah. But I don't think that'd be the case, because Dio's too prideful to go ahead with doing that. But he does always find a way to get revived, so in a way, I guess, he commits the murder knowing, okay, if I die, I will be brought back one way or another. You know, what do I have to lose? I basically get out of this for free. So I guess on that front, that does kind of explain his motive. But why Linny? I guess he could maybe want to taint the mood, or maybe because Dio is from, like, Victorian times, maybe he does just start tweaking when he sees actual magic from Linny, and he's like, yeah, he's genuinely disturbed. Maybe he thinks Linny is a stand user as a result, and he's like, okay, nah, before you figure out how to use this against me and kill me possibly for real, bye. So I think that works. And then, of course, Dio can use that as a double way to get out. Let's spin the pizza. Flip. Okay, flip. Flip is nice and easy. We flip it around, so we roll for culprit first, and then victim. So the culprit of this evil crime, W from Arknight. So one of your guys' suggestions. Hopefully you like the fact they survived as long as they did. Yeah, that is the game with a decent advert music, I will say. Show up every so often. But I do have notes for them. So W, they are a former mercenary. They are always 2 steps ahead. And I've also wrote that they are one crazy bitch. So I see this as, yeah, in terms of being a culprit, it kind of checks out. But whom? Who have they gone and killed? Kaminari. Okay, so you gotta think, Kaminari's got a quirk, so I guess in terms of, like, power scaling, he's actually standing a decent chance. So I guess what we could go with it, if W is tweaking, they see somebody who is, well, no, they want to be 2 steps ahead. How do you become 2 steps ahead? You kill the main character. Like, maybe Kaminari is going into being a decent detective. We haven't rolled wrong culprit yet. So she's like, no, before you get too good, maybe before you realise I'm always 2 steps ahead, let's take out this guy who's becoming too good of a detective. And we'll say, actually, after this, Prinny gets promoted, and then we'll spin the wheel. We'll remain to say, you know, antagonist is Ghoulfather. Marsh Shadow becomes a sidekick. So we got animals as our main duo. Yeah, I see that. So it's like the detective animal duo. And yeah, okay. Well, with that said, it's pizza time. We get a little bit of an update to the cast. It's sad to see Kaminari go. Mate, there's nothing like the death of a main character to drive 2 people to get married. So marriage, we didn't roll this last time. Hopefully you guys are happy to see it get rolled this time. Next 2 people are getting married. Who's it gonna be? Love is in the air. And it's, okay, it's Ghoulfather. I can see that, like his boys as they are. You know, I always removed him there. You know, I can see that. He does have like an aura about him. And he's getting married to Mecha Frieza. You know what? Yeah, if he was banished into space for 500 plus years, he probably would have ran into Frieza, and I don't know, apparently they matched each other's freak and got married. You know, maybe Ghoulfather's like a plotting and scheming little man, so is Frieza, and a lovely relationship was born. So good for them. That said, it's a wedding. I can't turn down the idea to kill somebody at a wedding. So somebody kills Gromit. So I'm going to say Gromit was appointed, like, security for this wedding. They're like, okay, this dog knows what's up. He's security. And then somebody kills him. But why? Why? Because depending on who this is, we can actually have a pretty good chapter here. So who kills him other than Yukiko, Persona 4? Okay, so what I'm going to say is this case progresses as people saying, okay, who wanted to kill the security? Were they trying to get a double murder but get found out before they could kill the second one? But what actually is the case is that Yukiko brought some of her cooking to the wedding, wanting to help them contribute, and if you played Persona 4, you'll know that that is deadly cooking. It's deathly bad. So I'm going to simply say, as much as they think, you know, this was an evil murder done, it in fact boils down to the fact that Yukiko is just that bad of a chef. Gromit eats something. No, she accidentally feeds Gromit something not only poorly made, but with chocolate in, and that just takes him out. I see that happening. It's not really a murder, it's just a bit inept. Right, marriage again. It's making up for lost time, ladies and gentlemen. Another marriage. Another joyous marriage between two people. The first one being Giorno. Okay, fair enough. I guess there's nothing like a wedding to get you in the mood to go to a wedding. And the other one is Song Gi-hun from Squid Game. You know, people find love in weird places, and I guess what happens is Giorno just really fell for this pathetic and rich man. So, you know, good for them. They found true love. But let's be honest, everybody this time knows there's going to be a murder at the wedding. Marshadow gets got. The secondary protagonist gets got. Wasn't acting for long, but they get got. I can see it. And who kills them other than Mecha Frieza? So Ghoulfather is now a widow. Okay, why do I think this is the case? Well, I'm going to say Marshadow, for whatever reason, ended up helping organise this wedding, or possibly pushing Giorno, Mr. Squid Game, to get married. And Mecha Frieza, you know, he was actually quite sad. Because it feels as though he stole a special moment, you know, he's actually quite sad, you know, that his wedding has been trounced on. So what I'm going to say is that just, he doesn't want to ruin the happy couple, you know, maybe he's got morals, but Mecha Frieza's like, no. You know, I'm sad, I need to take this out, I'm angry, I am Frieza from Dragon Ball. So he kills Marshadow, who had the most instrumental element in having this get going, as a way to show revenge, but also it's Mecha Frieza, so again, he's not, same as Dio, he probably knows he's going to get revived in the future, so he just takes up this Pokemon to vent his frustration, and maybe right before he gets executed, his trial's like, I'll see you, no, he's like, I'll see you again. That was awful Frieza impression, but, oh, poor Ghoulfather, man, I feel sad, but I guess he'll see him again. Seek a Way Out. Okay, this is a fun one. So this was inspired by the fact I added Zero Escape characters this time. Seek a Way Out is quite simple. There's been 2 marriages. Monokuma is letting down his guard. He's not on his game, so to speak. And that's when one lucky person manages to seek a way out. This person, quite simply, is going to walk out of the game. They find a way out of this weird warehouse in France where this one is set, and leaves. They leave. They win. They survive. They don't come back. And who else to wander out of the game other than Wanderer? Oh, my mutual on Twitter that is like basically him is going to be so happy at that development. So he's gone. Now he can come back. If we end up rolling a revive, then it rolls close to his number. He can be brought back in. But as far as we've concerned, Wanderer has just wandered on out. He's like, wow, nice wedding, guys. I'm going to take this wedding cake and just wander out of here. Right. So on the precipice of that, I'm going to say Monokuma is pissed that he let his security down for Wanderer to wander out of the building. But he's not pissed off. Somebody kills Leighton. Okay. This is a cold blood murder. Who would want to kill the Professor Leighton? Like, this is bad. This is intense now. How dare you? I wish I were a bird. I love him. I love him. In my trial run, I got married to him. So, you know, I'm actually slightly annoyed at this. Why would I wish I were a bird go ahead and kill Professor Leighton? I think... okay, so there's a few different ways we could go about this. I think the most... okay, am I daring to say normal? No. I'm not saying normal. But what I think happens is, in the little clip that everybody knows from that show, he's a bit, well, agitated. And, you know, Leighton's constantly like, aha, this reminds me of a puzzle. So what I'm going to say is that, you know, he's been getting progressively more annoyed, but then Leighton, just by pure chance, throws out a puzzle that really annoys what is essentially this deity of a weird orange cat thing. And he has like a little electric effect in the show, right? What I'm going to say is that he doesn't mean to kill him, but because of his raw power of being the I wish I were a bird cat, that electric field just catches Leighton in it. Is that what we're going with? You know, we're not going to mourn it. We're not going to mourn it. We're just going to spin the wheel. We're going to spin the wheel. Either way, Monokuma's happy. He's giggling. He's kicking his feet, actually. The last one was actually a cold blood murder. And he gets to execute somebody, and everybody's like, okay, fair enough, they're a murderer, whatevs. So, he's happy. He's in a good mood. You wanna know when he's not in a good mood? When another person leaves the game. They win. You're fucking kidding me. So my plan for Fishe is that this time he came back, right? He got revived. We'll say that the last time it was televised, there was a cult that formed in, shall we say, Le France, which is just a suburb in France. They love Fishe. They love Fishe, so they rebuilt Fishe. So he came back in, he was looking for revenge, he's looking to kill the mastermind. But, as Monokuma's distracted, he's like, hang on, if I leave, and then watch the rest of this, I can just, not kill the mastermind, because they did that last time. Or maybe I can just come back in later on and, do it then. So the Fishe leaves too. Let's say he leaves. Monokuma's distracted, he just slips out for a drain. And then him and Wanderer spend the remainder of this game just happily roaming the Genshin fields. Actually, who else from Genshin is still stuck in here? It's Kinich, isn't it? Yeah, so let's say, I don't know too much about Kinich because I've not started that one. Let's just say, Fishe and Wanderer, they go over to Kinich's place and they become farmers. They become, Wanderer becomes a fly fisher, Fishe and his mech suit becomes a farmer. Maybe, Ajor, which is, Kinich's bro, he's not here with him, and, they're just chilling. They just chill in that land. And they have a TV set that displays the results of the game, and they're chilling. They're vibing. Yes. The wheel goes again. The wheel spins once more, though. Phi. Okay, so this is quite bad. Phi. That's our second Zero Escape character gone, man. But she's been killed. Unsurprising. Food found in fridge level result. And she's killed by Kinich. Okay, so those guys are chilling at his place, and he finds until raging kills Phi. Why? I think that's the most important question for all of these. Let's say, okay, give me a moment to cook here. Let's say Kinich is not happy that his house is getting squatted in by a Fishe in a mecha suit, Wanderer, and Ajor. In fact, he's a little bit annoyed that Ajor hasn't come and rescued him. So, what I'm going to say is that him and Phi make a deal. And Phi is like, right, I can shift through realities, but I need to be in a sense of danger in order to do it. That's how they do it in Zero Escape. Specifically VLR, which is what this Phi is from, because there's a few versions of her. But, Phi is like, right, if you kill me, I will be able to shift to a different reality, and then use that as a way to chain react myself, to kick Ajor into action to come and rescue you. And maybe that works. So he kills Phi, right? But Phi shifts, so she moves her conscious around, whatever. So Kinich does end up getting killed. But what I'm going to say is that sets up a Deus Ex Machina later on. Where actually, the timeline changes, right around, when Fishe and Wanderer are chilling at Kinich's place, Ajor's nowhere there. He's in motion, or previously he was. So Phi changes the timeline to set Ajor in motion to come and rescue Kinich. So I'm gonna say, should we roll revive or seek a way out again? Maybe that changed the timeline that him killing Phi caused ended up coming to fruition. But only if they get rolled, because if not, it just allowed Phi to shift. But for now, he's dead, he's killed. But we'll see how it goes. Maybe some timeline-y stuff happens later on. I like how this one is going. So let's spin. Let's spin. Oh no. So Let's Go Gambling is the most dangerous space on this board. Because we get to go gambling. Specifically, you may notice I've got multiple culprits and multiple murders here. Let's Go Gambling, we do both. So we roll once for victims. I did click, that has given me 5 victims. And we're going to roll for murderers. 2. 5 victims, 2 murderers. For this case, rough, but Celeste would be proud. I know she would. Okay, so 2 people are about to get very, very busy. Maybe they are pushed to the brink by Fi explaining, oh yeah, I can jump between timelines. So, yeah, I can see it. They just want to go on a bit of a spree. And the first one they kill is you, the viewer, barely. Skitter hangs in, but you, the viewer, getting killed? I can see that. You guys probably seem suspicious, because you're acting as like a collective of my audience. The other one they kill, Jesse from Breaking Bad. So these 2 are probably strongly opposed to drugs. Makes sense. Maybe they work for the DEA. What do I know? He's like, Mr. White, I've been got. Can you come and pick me up? They kill Luke from Professor Leighton. I don't really have a reason for that. Collateral, possibly? We'll see. Then the fourth is... No! Giorno is going to be so sad. His husband got killed. Why? Why? And last but not least, Giorno. Okay, so those 5 are dead. And I'm going to immediately say something. Giorno kills himself after, you know, Mr. Squid Game gets got. I think that makes sense. I think that makes sense. Like, during the investigation, you find a body, and it just turns out no, Giorno did not want to live without his husband and just whopped himself. So technically, there's only 4 murders we've got to justify now. But who was doing this? Akihiko. And who? Valley Celeste. So those 2 snap. Celeste, I think, makes sense. Like, at this point, I think Monokuma's like, okay, I need a big set piece to be the one that brings people in, maybe trying to bump up viewership. So he's like, right, I gotta cook. Let's bribe Celeste with a fuck ton of money to make things interesting. So, I'm gonna say, Celeste is like, fine, I'll do it. And she gets gambling, and the results of her gambling guide her to kill those 4 people. But, I'm going to say throughout this game, she's also got blackmail on Akihiko, and possibly other people he cares for and sees. So Celeste blackmails Akihiko into helping her do the murders. She's the brains, and she helps do a little bit, but she basically blackmails Akihiko into killing these 4 people, of which are decided by her gambling. Again, maybe Monokuma promises like her a fuck ton of money if she gets away with it, and they figure it out. Like, I don't know. I'm not sure how they would figure it out, to be fair, but she gets got. Everybody's a bit sad. Namaste and namaste. It is how it is. Okay, so we're a decent ways into this recording now, and I've decided to shake up the fun wheel. I have removed Let's Go Gambling, Lip, and Marriage, because I feel as though at this point in the game, you don't really need much of that. I've added, in its place, Add 1, in which I add somebody from my reserve list now to bulk up the course, Add 2, where I add 2 people from that, and then Ajor, which, in relevance with the plotline I was setting up before, basically means Kinich gets revived, if we land on it. So it's a different sort of thing. It means revive is still technically random, but if it lands on that specific one, it's Kinich who gets revived, because Fi succeeds in her mission. And, you know, we'll say, depending on which way it goes, maybe Fi finds a way to survive too. We'll see. But yeah, that's the new pizza wheel, and we're going to see what it lands on, because I have now gone away and added... I've got a reserve list of characters that I want to try adding in, because some people, I hit my limit of 51. There are some people's suggestions that I do want to try and work in if possible, so they're on that reserve list. But seek a way out. Right, I guess another person's walking out of the game. Who's it going to be? Prinny. Prinny, you're our main character. Prinny, in fact, we don't have a sidekick, Prinny. You're just leaving, Prinny. And then he wanders over to meet up with Fishe and Wanderer at Kinich's house, and he joins them in their nice little operation. Yeah, so those 3 are chilling. Although I think he's going to be the last one. I think at this point Monokuma's going to tighten security. We're going to just get rid of that one. So he walks out. We have no main character. So who is our new main character? Well, no, Joseph Joestar is still, I assume, still technically is the, Yeah, sorry, I'm going to have to track this. So, our new main character is Villager, And then was Joseph Joestar our secondary antagonist, or was that... not secondary protagonist, was that... I'm going to say he has become our main character, and then Villager is his sidekick. Because he was earlier on. Either that, or I'm tweaking and seem insane. But Joseph main, Villager secondary, Ghoul Father still antagonist. Sure. So let's spin the wheel again. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Double culprits. Okay, nice, simple, basic, easy one. Well, who's dead? Who's dead? Who was disliked enough to get killed by 2 people? Papyrus. Barely. Barely not Goku. I guess both are kind of hard to explain why 2 people would hate them, but I guess it makes sense. Skitter, also known as the 10,000 Bees. Right, okay, they've not done anything for much of the game, but that was one of your guys' recommendations. Hopefully you're happy to see them made it all the way through. But Skitter kills Papyrus. They are a villain, so that does check out. And Joseph Joestar kills Papyrus. Okay. Well, I guess Villager found a way to make his way into the main character slot after all. Okay. So the issue is with Papyrus, he's a skeleton, so you can't kill him with a swarm of 10,000 bees. But in my notes for Skitter, what I've got written down from skimming their Wikipedia page, is that they have the bees, they are way too smart and persistent, and they're very sneaky. So, and then Joseph killing him, why? Like, I can see them having a JoJo's battle. I think they would agree. I'm gonna say he hammons Papyrus, which is like, that's like sunlight energy, life energy. Like, maybe it doesn't kill him, but it's like, okay, you're trying to put life back into a skeleton. This is not gonna end well. Like, maybe he's just taking a moment to recoup. Maybe they're fighting on like a cliff. And then a swarm of 10,000 bees just moves in and pushes him off the edge while Joseph is watching. And then the 2 get sent down for that, because that was technically a joint effort. Right, so that means Villager's our new main. And who is his sidekick? I guess he got what he wanted in the end. Tugami. Tugami being the sidekick. You know what? Villager, you looked out. I wish he was my sidekick. So he's a new secondary protagonist. Will he die next round? Who knows? But we're gonna spin the pizza. We're getting down to the wire now. Ajor. Okay, so, flashback. Kinich kills Fi to make her shift in timelines to then go ahead and save Kinich from the game. Now we're going to find out through flashback that the plan was to save both of them, but Fi takes her time before making her move and finds out that, yeah, there is a timeline where they can both escape. We'll say that she comes to find that Prinny escapes later on through osmosis and what have you, and she's like, okay, why don't we both just leave? But that timeline is the worst outcome she can possibly see. Okay, it's like the timeline that leads to Virtue's last reward happening in the first place. Level's bad, if you know, you know. So they can't leave. If both of them leave, along with Prinny, that's 3 people going out, and Monokuma gets livid enough to go out, stop the game, and wrangle not just those 3, but everybody who's escaped so far back into the game, and make it 10 times worse. He gives them all Radical 6 for good measure, so that's, you know, not on the cards. But when she's going through, she goes, okay, Kinich can leave here, and that won't happen. So now, in like the kind of rehashed version of events, she goes, tells Ajor this, and then during chapter 10 where they're planning how this is going to work out, they're coordinating scheming, Ajor just shows up, gives Kinich the information, says, you 2 don't need to do this anymore, you've technically already done it, this is just, you know, how time works, I guess. And then, well, yeah, Kinich happily walks out the door with Prinny and fires back at the game. Though for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to say that she's alive. They don't get to both waddle off into the sun, but Kinich does, and that 5-man strong team can just really enjoy fishing from here on. That's a complete mindfuck. Right, well, let's see. So Fi's back in the heat of this now, but the only person catching any heat and dying is Sunday. Yeah, he's kind of goofy, he's kind of insane, I can see that being the case. So who'd kill him? Who'd kill him? If I'm not... Really? Really? Well, okay, this one I feel as though, like, these 2 people are both insane. Like, the image I'm using for Villager is from when, you know, everyone was like, oh, Mal, I'm crossing Villager insane. And Sunday's also kind of insane. What I think is that they have an insane off, where they try and figure out who the more insane person is. So Sunday's like, aha, I'm gonna trap everybody in a dream back on Penacony, and Villager is like, I kill people with bowling balls and axes. And I assume that is more insane than Sunday, because he probably killed more people. And then maybe Sunday just collapses, maybe he just dies on the spot and the villager's like, my insanity killed him. Will that work? Will that work? Maybe Sunday wasn't as built out for the insane life as he thought he was, and that's what leads to it. I can see it. I can see it. But what does the pizza say? Does the pizza see it? Oh! Immunity. Okay, well this one's fine. Only one person can get it according to my rulebox. That one's also getting nuked. Immunity is quite simple. The next person this lands on is immune for the next time they get picked for it by the wheel. Real main character syndrome. Okay, okay. So Tugami is immune, and we'll promote him to being main. And we'll say he probably... Like, I'm going to say he works alone because of trust issues. And we'll just say it's him and Gulfar. There's like a 1v1 dueling thing now. And I assume they're both going to survive till the end. So, yeah, Tugami's going to be Unity Ghost, which makes sense. It makes that like position more tenable. So I'm just going to spin this again. I kind of want to I want to spice it up, and that pizza looks damn well spicy. Okay, multiple culprits. Multiple culprits. I'll take multiple culprits. So, same deal here. We haven't even had to use the revive wheel yet. 3. Okay, so 3 people are in on this murder. Who is it gonna be? It'll not be Tugami. You can't get rid of his immunity immediately. That'd be mean. Korekiyo gets killed. Okay. That's rough. He was the most popularly requested one in the comments of last time by far. So, Korekiyo gets got. Rest in peace. By Goku. To be fair, Goku probably would have no qualms with killing somebody if they were pure evil. Then who else? Who else? Might not be the Sackboy. Okay, this seems like Korekiyo was slightly insane, and then the nice people took action to take him down. Whis. Okay, Goku, Whis, and Sackboy teaming up against Korekiyo. Why? Well, I remember in the comments of last time, people were mentioning, well, the guy that commented mentioned, Korekiyo's got a whole thing with seesaws. So what I'm going to say is we're getting down to, like, the final wire now, you know? And Korekiyo is like, right, I gotta make sure I live to the end. Or, I gotta get away with murder very soon in the event I don't. He ends up leaning towards, okay, I gotta go ahead and do that. So, I don't know exactly the whole thing, because I've only played, like, the first hour of V3. I'm gonna say he builds, like, a deadly seesaw, where, like, it, like, functions like a perpetual motion machine, and it's gonna, like, power up so much, and it's gonna eventually create a shockwave that will kill people. Well, or maybe he builds it wrong, and Whis is like, this is bad. Goku, we need to kill this guy before he turns it on. And Goku's like, okay. And then maybe Sackboy joins him. I don't know why he joins him. Maybe he just wanted to be part of something. Korekiyo dead, and the 3 of them get knocked. But, on the bright side, the entire facility doesn't get blown up. Spin the pizza. Spin the pizza. Korekiyo seesaw. Sure. I'm sorry, we're going straight onto double culprits. Oof. Well, we've got 8 people left. This would bring us down to 5. So, Fi has been killed. I see this. If she's been timeline hopping, maybe she's run into Sigma from the first case. I imagine they're trying to solve the mystery of this, and they feel threatened. So Fi gets got. Because this has to be the last one, right? Because this takes us down to the final 5. So I'm going to say the masterminds end up killing Fi. Yeah, I think that works. Fi just solves the mystery. She's hopping back and forth, you know, she's getting increasingly close to figuring out. She's been through a million of these with different configurations of people who survive. The masterminds end up acting, and they're like, we can't let her reveal this, because if it's still being televised and she reveals it, they're done. You know, the squad back at Kinnich's house, they're going to storm the building. They're going to get him. So, who's the mastermind? Ryoji! Really? I'm not happy with this. That is false. He would never. But if you play Persona 3, you'd know that that is your exact reaction when it's revealed that he is, in fact, a world-destroying eating entity. So what I'm going to say is that it's not Ryoji per se, it's just the fact like he's linked with Nyx, who is actually the mastermind, and Ryoji's just here to have fun, and then like Nyx controls Ryoji to make the murder happen, because that way, I can say it technically wasn't his fault, even though it entirely was. And the other one was Yosuke. Okay, so this one makes a bit more sense. So maybe you think Yosuke's fought and killed gods, right? So what I'm going to say is that after Persona 4, Alternate Reality, Yosuke ends up figuring out that it's Adachi who's the guy in charge, ends up like becoming evil and taking Adachi's side, but they still go and kill the god at the end of the game. Then Nyx is like, okay, you know, this is weird. Let me reach out to Yosuke. We'll say 4 and 3 swap places to make this make more sense. So Nyx reaches out and like, hey, you want to do evil shit to like avenge Adachi who died last time? And he's like, sure. You know, Yosuke has actually been insane the entire time. Why do you think the other people from the investigation team were here? He brought Yukiko in because he was evil. So, you know, So he's insane, he made a deal with Adachi, Nyx reached out, he's like, hey, you wanna do insane shit? Yeah, sure. Bam, he's in here, he's the person. And that ends with this. So, we have one person from each property again, I believe. But, I am not gonna do a final spin, but somebody did ask me to spin to see who gets to kill the mastermind. So, somebody gets the option, Monokuma's deactivated, they've cracked who the mastermind is, they killed Fi, and the person with the privilege of doing it is Tugami. Okay, I can see this, to be fair. I'm gonna say, like, Ryoji you can't really kill because he's just like a god, and none of these people are particularly powerful enough. Maybe Ghoulmaster with a GFL, but you're not gonna be killing Nyx. So what I'm going to say is that they take out the guy who was on Earth that really facilitated it. Maybe Nyx was more like a commanding hand, whereas Yosuke was more directly involved. So Tugami, because Yosuke was close with Adachi, and that's what led to it, Tugami dresses up as Adachi, and then he pulls out Adachi's gun and blasts some holes with him. And I think that's a perfect way to round it out. And then, you know, Yosuke focuses for, well, there's nobody discovery announcement. The game is over. And they get to leave. They all get to leave, and they all go. They all wander out the door, and then they all have a wonderful party at Kenich's house. Namaste. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is our winners. So, the survivors of the people that remained in the game are the following. We have number 10, Jet from Sonic. 22, Tugami from Danganronpa 2. 23, Nagito, also from Danganronpa 2, actually. 37, Tokoyami from My Hero Academia. And 49, the Ghoulmaster. So, yeah, Tugami and Ghoulmaster actually survived to the end, just like an actual Danganronpa game. And then, of course, you know, the others who survived were all chilling at Kenich's house. They just got to escape through varying different plot bullshit, which, yeah, sure. I enjoyed that, to be fair, you know, so a lot more winners than the first time, isn't it? I think Seek a Way Out I did not expect to get pulled as many times as it did. Round 3 is probably inevitable. I already have started writing an overflow list of other people to add. The people that were going to be my add 1s, my add 2s in that list, they got priority for next time. We'll maybe bring in a few people from this one, don't worry. I will be looking next time 2,000,000% to have us roll wrong culprit, because I think it could be pretty good. But hopefully you enjoyed. As if you did, then feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, as always it helps out a bunch. And until next time, as always, I'm open to suggestions in the comments. I'm sure it will somehow manage to be even more insane than this one. Thanks for watching, and peace out.